So last time we said about Node.js. So basically twavuze ko Node.js ni platform idufasha kuba twakora servers cyangwa ushobora kuyita ni backend. So tuyikoresha igihe twakoze web application dukeneye yuko interacting with the database, ushaka gukora ama API operations. So here is the sample Node.js application. So basically be importing what we call the create server is a built-in package. So for Node, igufasha kuba wakora server. So ahangaha, as I said, for each request, it has the request and the response. So the request is the when you are expecting some data from outside. The response is what you return. So currently urabona ko this one irimo kurendaringa the statement hello world. So and also here you can define the port. This is the port iraza kuraningiraho. This is the if you wanted to make it localhost, this endpoint nuko triggering kuri local servers. So then here you can put any message. Node.js ahantu itandukanye na JavaScript. Node.js ntabwo iraninga muri server, ntabwo muri browser ntabwo iraningaho, yo iraninga in the terminal niho ushobora kubona the output. So you can visit this Node.js website on nodejs.org where you can see main thing. So ahangaha iyo ugeze ahangaha bakwereka ushobora kudownloadinga node if you don't have one, but I'm expecting you that you already have this installed. So to check if you already have the Node.js installed, you can come in your terminal and type node dash dash version. As simple as that. So here ushobora kuhita ubona the current version of Node you are using. So for me, I have Node version 20. There are different versions. I think you could the latest one bageze kuri Node version 24. I think you could 25. Yeah, currently there is Node version 25. So urumva ko the version zigenda zitandukana. Umuntu wakoze muri 2018 ushobora gusanga ari gukoramo kuri version 16. I don't know. So twebwe ahubwo turahita tuyizera hano kuri documentation of how Node.js really works. So ahangaha bakwereka if you plan to use Node.js, what you can expect, so and how you can use that one. So twebwe here you can see there are different versions. So you can choose one and you choose how you can use that. So for me, I can go with the latest, no worries. So back here, there is a different sections. So like for instance, if you want, you can see this one on your GitHub. Depends n'ibyo wenda wowe wishakira. So ariko iyo ushaka ushobora no kuba warebera kuri iriya documentation batanze kuri website yabo. So for me, I prefer to use the website kuko I hope yuko nayo iri more descriptive. Ahubwo reka tuze hano about the usage and the example of Node.js. So to get started, hano in my so I can create a new one. Sorry. So here I'm going to create a new folder. So and I can call this one Node.js. Node.js. For instance, I can put here as Node.js application. So this one, I can open this one in my terminal or in my VS Code, as simple as that. So ndimo kugendera kuri ibi dufite ahangaha. So bari bari kwereka should start with creating a new folder. So folder twayikoze then twinjiramo ibyo byarangiye then Now we are inside the Node application. So here in the Node, so this is the sample application you should think about. So if you look here, you can see the way we create the variable in that JavaScript. It's look the same. Nk'uko twabibonye, Node.js is one of the JavaScript frameworks, so yubakiye kuri JavaScript ariko yo yifitemo izindi capabilities. Ariko biragoye yuko wavuga ngo urinjira muri Node utarerebye kuri JavaScript na gato. So I hope yuko something here they are not new. So we are here in our VS Code. So currently we have a blank repository, nothing inside. So, but here I can start with creating a new file, which is this one. So here I can put any name. For instance, I can put this one as server.js, the same way to creating a JavaScript file. So this is the file. So rero iyo umaze kugeramo hano ni cya gihe noneho uvuga ati ngiye gutangira nkore Node application. So your Node application is not just to be the perfect. You can start with something like this one. Console.log. You can say something like this one. Our server is running. As simple as that. Just for testing. So no, kugira ngo running your application, you have to open your terminal. There are different ways where you can open your terminal. So here, if you come here on these triple dots, urabona ahantu handitse terminal, you can check there is where you can put the new terminal. Ubu buryo bukwangiye ushobora gukoresha this control. We have this command control shift and backticks. So ubu ni ubundi buryo bwa kabiri, control shift and backticks. So then ikindi ushobora no kuba wabikorera ahangaha. So ahangaha this is where this is the one. Yeah, ahangaha naho ushobora kuba wakora the new terminal yawe. So uburyo bworoshye ni ubu ngubu bwo kuza ugahita ukora the new terminal. So you can see this is your terminal. Akangaka ntabwo ngakeneye. So I hope we have something like this one. So currently, if I'm not mistaken, we're in the directory we want. So we have this location. We are on a desktop inside the Node.js folder. So make sure you kuri muri current directory aho ushaka kurunning. So kugira ngo uyirunning dukoresha keyword node like this one, then specifying the location ya file ushaka kurunning. So bitandukanye na kwa kundi twabikoraga muri HTML tugahita tuza hano tukarunninga on go live. Ubikoze nka gutya, I hope yuko nta kintu na kimwe wabona. So reka dukomeze. So ahangaha ngiye gukora node nitekeraho ya file yanjye yitwa server like this one.js. Then press enter. So if I press enter, you can see the message now is in the console instead of kuba yaba in a browser. So node ntabwo iraningira in a browser. So if you wanted to run a browser, ushobora gukoresha buno buryo bwo gukora HTTP request. So ahangaha niho tuza ukahita uvuga ati here we have the sample. You can put something like this one, can initialize an HTTP request with this localhost. It is not necessary. Just for now, it is not necessary. So what you just need is something like this one. Create an HTTP request where you can receive the request and the response. So that's it for now. Kereka wenda ari ubundi buryo ushaka ko byagaragaramo. Ariko just for now, you can think in that way. So I'm not going to take that much time. So what I'm going to do just for now, so I'm going to delete this one. I don't longer need this. So just ngiye gukora icyo bita ku importinga. So we want to import HTTP. This HTTP iradufasha ku interactinga with the browsers. So just for now, so tureta tuvuga ati require ni ukuvuga ati you have to say the location aho ushaka kuimportinga. So for now you can use HTTP like this one, ziba ziri pre-installed, you don't need to worry about that one. So or you can put like a node specifier. Okay, this is a node. So then once you're done, so niho tuhita tuvuga ati const, then it initializing your app. So your app you can say like something like this one. So twavuga our app iraza kuba ari iraza kwita ifata ya http dufite. So this is our http. So then we want to create our server. So this is our server. So urabona ko ifite client request and a create server. So what it expect, as I said, this is the function. As you see here, this is a function which expect the request, and also it will request you to put the response. So here I can put an arrow function. Yeah, arrow function as a with the request and the response. Simple as that. So with that one, we're specifying what how can I use this the request and the response. So for now, anga bari gusendinga the message with status code 200, the content header, and the message they want. So this is not necessary. This is not necessary. Just in case you want, you can put that one. Ariko, in case you don't want that one, you don't need kuba wayishyiraho. So twebwe turifuza ahubwo ko turaza gusendinga the response. Response iraza kuba ifite send data, or the response dot send. I think it's a send data like this one. Cherekane barabaye deprecated ariko send I do know yuko ariyo ushobora kugufasha kuba watanga ziriya data. So then tumaze kuvuga the message dushaka gutanga. So the next thing turaza kudefininga how our server iraza kubiraninga. So niho turata tuhita tuvuga ati our app will listen, then it will listen something like here ikintu cya mbere ushyiraho port iraza kuraninga. You can put like 5,000. Can also put any, ariko there are some ports which are already ziba zarafashwe nka port 3,000 ahanini. Iyo ufite nka yo muri Next.js ahanini Vercel irangira kuri port 3,000, ariko there are other izo tuvuga nka port http ikoresha port 80, port 443. Izo ni port zabaye reserved, so you don't have to use those one. So turaza tugenda tubinyuraho. Ikintu cya mbere dushyiraho port. So iyo umaze kwishyiraho port, noneho ushobora guhita uvuga ati then my app yanjye kujya making sure ko iri kuraninga. So ahangaha nshobora console-loginga avuga ati console.log, nkahita mvuga ati our app, our server, let me make this clear. Our server is running something like this one. It's running on HTTP. Can say like this one. It's HTTP localhost. If I'm not mistaken, we have something like this one. I have localhost. and I can put our port kari ibihumbi bitanu. So then if this works turaza kubona this log. If it doesn't niko yabira byafailing. So do the same. So our app is running. If I do something opening nk'ibi bintu, so I'm supposed yuko ndaza kubona the message. So currently it is not responding. Let me check the reason why it is not responding. So send still, but this is another function. Let me see that one. So send ntago iri exist, ntago bakiyikoresha, we can use end. So then here, let me do clear, and I can run again here and if it not server. So app is running. So if I do refresh, you can now see we have something to show here, right? Now we have something to show. So which means now our server is running on port 5000. So bivuze iki kugira ngo na accessing this app nuko nzajya mba ndi kuraninga on port ibihumbi bitanu. That's it. So without that one, so ntago byankundira. So no reka dukore something zisa nkaho ziri simple just for demonstrations. So twari turi kureba how you can run your application. So twebwe twari twabikoze muri buno buryo, ariko hari n'ubundi buryo dushobora gukoresha. Ntabwo ari ngombwa buri gihe dukoresha create server, tugira express, have something different. So it depend wenda n'icyo ushaka wowe. Ahangaha hariho different, ariko iyi ntabwo nakunze documentation yabo, ntabwo irimo clear, ntabwo kubwira everything how it works. So just bakwereka the sample, ibindi ukagenda ureba, ariko ubundi most of the time sample node application should have something like this one. So ahangaha ngiye gukora the new file, ibintu biba bikeneye necessities. So necessity, if I'm not mistaken, something like this. The txt. So your node application ari ibintu bigomba kuba ifite kugira ngo ibiri clear in clean. So ikintu cya mbere kuri node wamenya, make sure yuko your node application ifite icyo bita controllers. What they mean a controller? Controller in a backend system, you can think about like a brain. Niyo ibihandling ibintu byose ukeneye. Nimba ari request tuvuga urugendo ndashaka kureba aba users. So controller idufasha noneho kuba navuga ati nimba shabye aba user wenda ndamwiriza aba user batanu ndabakura muri database, something like that one. So hakaza icyo bita ama routes. So routes ni nka router, so tukwifashisha gukora API tuyizi nka application programming interface. So ikora nk'ikiraro kiraza guhuza noneho ya server yawe kikayihuza na front end application. So that's it for this routes. Ibi ngibi make sure yuko ushobora no kuza kubikora research, they are necessary. So ikindi amaroute yavuyeho tujya tugira izo bita ama middlewares. So middleware is something like this API, ariko yo aho bitandukaniye, middleware ushobora kuyipasinga between the API ku buryo yo functionality zayo ushobora kuraninga ibindi bigahita bikomeza. Ariko API yo ikora ikintu kimwe kigahita kirangira, there is no more running. Ariko middleware ishobora kuraninga ikahita ipasinga data kuri API igakomeza ibintu byayo. So middleware thinking like the way we do authorization or authentication. So most of the time, like if you visit some website like Amazon, iyo ugiye nko kugira kwishyura nk'ikintu bafashe nk'ibicuruzwa, barabanza kureba ko uri authenticated. So iyo utari authenticated, so bahita bakubwira ati you have to make sure that you have logged in. Ahangaha niho bahita babibona bati your account ntabwo ihari cyangwa se ntabwo uri logged in. So, for instance, nk'urugero wenda ndamutse nje nka hano nkareba zino product nkumva imwe muri zo wenda ntayishimye, for instance nk'iyi ngiyi nshobora kuvuga ngo wenda ino product ndashaka kuba nayigura. So iyo ngerageje wenda nkavuga ati add to cart, where add to list, so nkayadinga muri cart, so bahita bareba akavuga ati you don't have an account, so icyo ukeneye banza ukore account cyangwa ukore sign up or sign in, then nubirangiza urahita uza ubone kuba watangira gushoping. So hariya burimo middle irabanza igacekinga every time nimba wowe icyo ukoze wabanje kugira gute, wabanje ku registeringa. So that's it. So sometimes you should have something like a documentation YAML API because so what this mean? Most of the time we use a testing tool like a Postman. We use standard client to test our API. Ariko nk'iyo ari nko mu front end, developer muri gukorana azakenera documentation amenye ati ese iyi API ikora gute, nzayikoresha ryari, imeze gute, nyine the details zose API yawe ikeneye, ibyo izakina n'ibyo izatanga bikaba bihari. That's the way we do documentation. Nk'urugero twafata ni urunguru, this is the documentation. So what this, iyi ngiyi irakubwira ati bayikoresha gutya, ukeneye kuinsertingamo some data, ukabona nyine ibintu byose biri well documented. So that is the main example our documentation. Turaza kujya tureba things by things, how they work, how they interact each other. So so muraza kujya mufata time mugaruke kuri documentation, ari ibintu byinshi, ariko twebwe just for now we gonna move forward turebe ibindi bintu tuba dukeneye. So most of the time dukenera ama utility functions. Those are the functions utifuza yuko ziraba nyinshi in one file. So ahangaha niho tuhita tuvuga ati noneho izo file turaza kuzishyira muri utility. Ahangaha ni igihe wenda ufitemo ama integration, urashaka kuintegramo the email system, these utility functions zijyana muri utility folder. So these folders ziba zikenewe, ariko sometimes ushobora kuba wakina n'iyama services, ahantu kuba ati most of the time the service ikajya integrating na database gusa, ariko ama request and response bikabera mu ma controllers. So also you should have the configuration folder, iragufasha kuba washyiramo some configuration like a database connection, things like that. So that's the prerequisite wenda dushobora kurebaho. Dutangire ku kintu cya mbere, tugiye gutangira ku cyo bita wenda reka duhere kuri ibintu biri basic bitagize, bitari buze wenda kudusaba yuko tugira understanding iri hejuru. So ahangaha ngiye gukora, I can put the one file. So what this file izaza kubidufasha ni iki? Nta kindi, tugiye gukora the file iraza kubikora nk'ari controller. Then our controller turaba twashyizemo, turashyiramo some functions, either wenda yo kureba abantu dufite something like this one. So reka wenda ngiye gukora one, iraza kuba ari controller. For now ndavuga ati controller.js. So also I hope we can stop here. Iyi ngiyi nta kibazo twayikoresha. So then the controller yacu ikintu igiye gukora rero, tugiye kuyifashisha mu kuba wenda twakora some arrays, dukore n'ama function wenda iradufasha kuba twakora ya CRUD operation. So that's it for now. So then inside this controller, let's say for instance ufite an array, for instance twayita, ushobora kuba ufite array y'aba users, ushobora kuba ufite user, yeah, you should have the users, you should have like the names of something, should have some news, things like that. So twebwe reka dukore wenda reka dukore yitwa post. Tujya gukora one of the array iraza kuba ifite post. Just for now, you can put like something like this one. So inside an array, you should have the object of post. So each object, each post should have the ID. So ID ni identifier iratandukanye n'ikindi kintu icyo ari cyo cyose. So irafite the title, description, something like that one. So turaza gushyira the title. So the title ya mbere wenda dushobora kuvuga ati it's a post one. As simple as that. So the post one, so it has the title we said, you can put something like that many times. The kind of get post two, hano turashyiraho kabiri, and here in three, the same thing here, and here you can put four, and you can also put five, then stop. So suppose this is the data ziri guturuka muri database. Just for now ntabwo turinjira muri database ariko we can use the demo data just for demonstration. So ahangaha we should make the one of the function iraza kuba ariyo yitwa nyine iyo controller n'ubundi, ariko iyo controller tugiye gukora niradufasha nda kuba twagetinga the post ni urugero. So then, so ikiraza kubikora ni iki? Nta kindi, turaza gukora the way we define the function. Iyi function tugiye gukora niraza kuduhereza this report gusa, nta kindi kiraza kubiduhereza. So naza nkavuga ati get post controller. So the controller twabonye yuko the same thing ni underlingwa request and response. So here I can put the request and the response. Simple as that. Then here, what is going to give us? Iraza kuduhereza zira post. Nuko iraza kuduhereza post zacu. Noneho icyo dukora kugira ngo tu accessing somewhere else, dukoresha icyo twita dukoresha tura exportinga kugira ngo n'undi muntu aje kubasha kuza ku accessing. So ahangaha ushobora gushyira something like this one, export, but iyi controller tura exportinze, we should start using this controller. So think about that one. Icyo iyi controller igiye kudukora nta kindi ni ukuritaninga the post dufite post currently. This is 4, sorry. Yeah, this is a 4. So back to a server like this one. Hano nshobora kuimportinga avuga ati const nkahita mvuga ati it's a get post controller. So iraza kubituruka ye ahangaha tushyiraho require no kuba ati iraza guturuka ahangaha, then inside here niho dushyiramo iraza kubituruka, iraturuka in the current directory ni file yitwa controller. So this is it. So tumaje kugira gute, tumaje kubona the controllers, how you can see if the controllers irimo kuza. Dukoresha bwa buryo kavuga ati ushobora kuvuga ati ushobora gukonsologinga, ushobora kuzerekana in a browser. So it's up to you, ni wowe uvuga ati data zanjye ziraza kuba zigaragara gutya. So just for now, kako ahangaha turi kubasha kuza accessinga, we should navuga ati you should start using them. How we can do that? So if I come here, maybe reka tuzikonsoliginge in a browser cyangwa tuzishyire hano in the terminal, ishyire butworohere nicyo kiraba cyaba cyoroshye. So let's move forward. So ahangaha turahita tuza tukavuga ngo console.log. So ahangaha I can put something like this one. So now let's see the current post. So this is it. So tumaze kuyikora tugiye turayipasingamo hano nubwo ati iraza kuritaninga data again. So then stop this one and run again. So now we are getting the error. What this error really means? They're saying unexpected export. So ahangaha uburyo bwiza bwo kubikora ni ukuza ku exportinga manually. How you can do that? Ahangaha dushobora kuza tugahita tuvuga ati export export something like this one, the default. I think it's a default if I'm not mistaken. Export the default something like this one. Iraza kubingana like this one. So it's as simple as that. No, oh, don't. This is not good. I'll go turakoresha module. Module.export something like this one. So ahangaha kubera ko ari yonyine nayo exportinga yonyine nta kibazo. So I can see now here we can access. So if I'm back here, what I can do, I can make sure that we can see that one. Yeah, as you can see here, we have this one. Can select, then after can run this one again. So the same thing. So can see now we don't get any data. What is the main reason tutari kubona zero data? Can you suggest? What do you think, guys? To define the data ariko currently ntabwo turi kuzibona. Hello? Guys, can you hear me? Hmm? Gute? Okay. Ugiye ubu ngubu? Okay. So what you can do? Hmm? Yeah, ntiwaenda kwifata. Ahubwo kubera ko twatangiye dutinze, nifuzaga wenda ko tujya ahubwo twasoreza aha ngaha tukazakomeza naho hari, kuko I hope yuko ibi ngibi ntabwo twari twarabirebyeho mbere, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we can stop here then.